In this episode, we're going to be talking about entering film festivals as a screenwriter. A lot of the big festivals also have competitions for screenwriters. They might be for short scripts or feature-length screenplays. They might offer cash prizes, they might offer some helpful software, at the very least offer you some sort of recognition. The problem is when this is going on at a live festival, screenwriters kind of disappear into the wallpaper. Film festivals usually focus on the films. The films that are the big draws, the films that are the best in show, pretty much anything that can go onto a screen. That's what the audience is there for. They're there to watch the films and enjoy themselves. They're not going to sit down and read a screenplay. Now, I have heard of some festivals that will sit a bunch of actors in chairs and do a live table read for a screenplay, but I've also heard that these tend to get boring for people. They don't want to hear the words on paper, they want to see the action on the screen. They want to see those recognizable faces among the crowd later. Films have the advantage of being able to put those recognizable faces out there. It's not uncommon at all for people when they're taking the red carpet photos to be recognized by people who have just seen those films. Then that usually ends up in conversation and the filmmakers end up getting themselves promoted or getting themselves further connected. Screenwriters, on the other hand, don't have anything that people can really see. They can talk about their screenplays and give short synopsises, but that doesn't tend to stay in people's minds as much as a visual thing does, like it is with a film. So screenwriters end up being there without anybody actually understanding why they're there in the first place. You'll find that this kind of makes you feel alienated. Unless you've been able to make a few friends along the way before the big parties, you might find that you're just kind of off to yourself. Nobody knows anything about your project, they have nothing that they can talk to you about. You might be able to tell them about your project, but honestly, everyone in that room has a screenplay that they've been working on or that they've finished or that's in the festival circuit. People are more interested in talking about their accomplishments rather than their future successes. So they're going to be talking about the films that are screening, they're going to be talking about the films that are in production. It's very rarely that I hear any conversations that are focused around a screenplay, especially one that nobody's read yet. Another route for screenwriters is to go for competitions that are strictly for scripts. These are usually online only, because there's really no point in having a live festival just for screenplays. Again, nobody's going to sit in a room and read a bunch of screenplays, other than the judges of the competition. The problem with online-only festivals is that there really isn't much of a chance to make those connections that you need as you're starting out as a filmmaker. So you're going to want to attend the live events. And if you're a screenwriter, you're going to need something visual to grab people's attention. This is where you have to start doing your prep work well ahead of time. Start by building a website that includes some information about your screenplay, including the synopsis and any awards that it has won. Get yourself a logo, something visual, some sort of concept art. You're doing a proof of concept website page on your screenplay. Get business cards as well. Make sure that they have the address of the screenplay on your business cards as well as a way to get a hold of you. You're going to need these especially if you're trying to get somebody else to produce your screenplay. Make sure that they're as eye-catching as possible. Now it's time to go shopping and find a friend. Most festivals will offer 2 free tickets to the events to anybody who is in the competitions. Get yourself something nice to wear and find a friend. But don't just grab any friend. What you want is basically a wingman. You want somebody who's very outgoing and energetic, who can talk to people, who can talk to strangers, and who can talk you up as if you were a fairy tale princess. You need this sort of support in order to get yourself noticed amongst a bunch of filmmakers. If your wingman's doing his job right, and you're talking up to people and being very outgoing yourself, you're going to start getting noticed. People are going to remember who you are and they're going to know that you're a screenwriter. They're not going to know exactly what kind of a screenwriter you are because they still haven't read the script, but you have now given them the opportunity to find out more about your project and find out how they can get a hold of you so they can read the script at a later date. Furthermore, this also grabs the attention of directors and producers. While a lot of independent directors produce their own screenplays, there are some out there that realize that they are not great writers, and they're looking for screenwriters who can take their idea for a story and turn it into a much better project. This can lead to getting a paycheck as a writer, which isn't a bad way to go. If you really want to get yourself out there as a screenwriter, you're going to need a resume of produced films that were based on your screenplays. So the more of these that you accept and work on, the better that resume is going to become, the more seriously people are going to take you, and the more likely you're going to start getting the offers for the better paying jobs. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Unconnected Filmmaker, and if you found this information useful and want to be notified when the next video premieres, just hit that subscribe button. Or if you have anything you'd like to see an episode on, feel free to comment below. See you next time, and keep those cameras rolling.